making sense of the senseless and overthrowing governments that are reckless. May it make sense. Make it make sense.
Hey, I am Gladstone Lilycrap.
And I'm Travis.
And we're in the middle of a hostile government takeover. We want to talk about it, and we're going to because we don't have work to go to. So we won't be late. And welcome to a surprise birthday edition of the Damage Report.
It's my birthday?
No, Travis, it's my birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Thanks, friend. I would not be doing anything else but spending my birthday with you running my mouth about
The hostile government takeover.
the hostile government takeover and that we're living in bizarro world. Yeah, we're just going to get right to it because we're not going to keep you long because I have birthday shenanigans to get involved in. We just have some quick things. We're going to talk about some DOJ scandals, freedom of the press, question mark, Caitlin Collins, who we love, against the rich girl, Karen Leavitt. I hate her. We're going to help you stay informed without going out of your mind. Cabinet shenanigans. And then, did everyone get laid off? Do we know? We don't know. And then, what can we do about stuff? Some Trumpancy shenanigans, and then we're going to talk about how to get active.
Yeah. Get physical.
Let's get physical. You know she would want us to.
She would.
Okay. So, Travis, we're just going to tag team these a little bit. So first is Pam Bondi.
Yes.
We thought about this. We were talking before we got started, and we would say she was I can't think, Al Bundy's
Al Bundy's sister. So
her
you were
sister.
calling her Pam Bundy, and as a big fan of Married with Children and the Bundys in general, I think that's blasphemy.
He didn't want me to do it, and then I was like, "But she's Al's conservative Christian sister."
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was up last night pretty late because I couldn't sleep because it was snowing and everything was on fire in my body. And I read an article, and I think it popped up on the MSNBC app saying that Pam Bondi, is going to make the Eric Adams a thing to prove her corruption. Because there's all corruption in the government. It's everywhere. And even though her dictator boss is the one that started this problem, I don't understand.
So let's explain the whole situation a little bit because I don't think people even understand what is going on with this whole situation.
Yeah, I don't, and I have some explanation. Unless Travis, you want to take a crack at it.
I can give a very broad overview.
And I can come back after I use my fantastic resources to fact check you.
Okay, so federal prosecutors had a case against New York Mayor Eric Adams for corruption charges, some kind of corruption charges.
He was campaign finance. Campaign finance fraud, kickbacks.
Yes.
Keep going. You're doing
kind of the
wonderful.
kind of the thing that you expect from a New York mayor in general.
From a lot of people, they don't. You could be doing something. Campaign finance law is really hard to violate. It's really easy to violate.
Yeah.
Excuse me. In just you notice a signature is missing from a form, and you quickly sign it. And I can tell you, I know a lot of elected officials have done that because you have to get that stuff in.
Right.
It's just a matter of people going back and saying, hey, did they do that? But I digress. Continue.
Okay, so the federal prosecutors had a case against him, and it looks like it was a pretty open and shut case. It was pretty solid. And then at some point, Eric Adams met with Trump, and they came to some kind of sweetheart agreement where we don't know the details of it, but it probably involved something with cooperating with ICE and
yes, it was
sanctuary cities. And
to get rid of the sanctuary cities.
Yeah.
And he was supposedly had agreed to start what is it called? Cooperating with ICE.
Right.
And he and not and making and like I guess unmaking New York City a sanctuary city.
Right. And then it came down from the president that the Department of Justice was supposed to drop their case against him, and a bunch of the lead federal prosecutors then got really pissed off because that's not how the law works.
That's not how any of this works at all, ever.
Yeah.
Please don't think this is how this works here.
Absolutely not. And so they all resigned and wrote scathing letters and are very upset about it because they knew that Eric Adams was clearly guilty. And just because he made a deal with Trump to do whatever, that does not give the president the right to tell them to just dismiss a case. That's absolutely not how any of this works. That's not how the law works. That's not how the judicial branch works. That's not how the executive branch works. That's not how any of this works. So you have a bunch of prosecutors that just resigned and are really going to probably, they've wrote a bunch of letters, but I'm sure they're going to come out and interviews and stuff and tell all. And this, I think, has the possibility to be the first major scandal of this new presidency. So, I mean, this could be the first one,
Travis and I are not in the same room at this time. Yeah. I am shaking my head.
Yeah.
He is doing a excellent job of explaining to y'all what is happening. So there were 7 judges in total that
were
resigned.
They judges or prosecutors?
No, prosecutors in protest. There were 5 at main justice, and then 1 plus 1. Danielle Sasson, the lead prosecutor. Mm-hmm. Then there were 7 down in Washington that were pressured by the acting attorney general, and I can't for the life of me remember that guy's name. But he pressured 7 judges and told them that they had till the end of the day, and if they didn't, they were all fired. Yeah. And so and there were offers of promotions and all this and ballyhoo, yahoo. Mm-hmm. And then what happened was one of them that was close to retirement mm-hmm. just bent the knee because he was pressured to. It was under duress, and signed the motion. Now, I was watching Rachel Maddow last night on her second run, and she had talked to a legal expert that actually went to law school with the judge on the case. Mm-hmm. And she said that the judge could just make a decision, but also the judge could call for wanting people to testify. to say like, why are we doing this? You can't just
why
like,
are we dropping the case? Basically.
Yeah, why are we dropping the case? You can't just drop a federal indictment
with no reason.
With no reason.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I'll be paying attention to this, but Travis is right. Like, this is like Watergate. And you're going to see, we're actually worse than Watergate.
Worse.
Because at least Watergate, they were trying to like get rid of a governmental agency. And it was just ridiculous. It was still ridiculous, but at least, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this. At least Nixon was like honest enough to leave. Like, who ever thought
when he got caught, right?
Yeah, when he got caught. Like, what? So, we're doing this to give examples of, like, can we talk about the government takeover that's happening? And there are people who are trying to fight against it, but, like, it's, like...
When we talk about sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
that's okay.
When we talk about a hostile government takeover, it's not just a funny song. Like, these are the kind of things that are hostile. This kind of action right here is what we're talking about when we talk about hostile government takeover. You can't just be a cult of personality and just order around parts of the government and circumvent the way that we do law and the way that we do law and order in this country. You can't just decide that that's the way that without amending the Constitution or passing things through Congress and the Senate. You can't. This is circumventing all of our laws to do things like this. This is.
No, this is not how it works. At all. Okay, so the Deputy Acting Attorney General's name is Emil Bovee. The government is not offering to exchange dismissal of a criminal case for Adams' assistance on immigration enforcement. Ha, that's funny. Like, people, this is something that you should definitely be paying attention to. Because this is, as Travis says, scandal number one.
And just how corrupt is Eric Adams to just even agree to this? Like,
well, I think he might have been under duress too.
Of course, he is.
Because this is about New York has always been a sanctuary city. Yeah. Because what is there? Ellis Island, right? Like, right. That's where...
Right, it's the sanctuary city.
It's the sanctuary city. So, like, what?
Yes.
Like, they, like, whatever. Okay, like, we're, as Willy Wonka would say, we're pressing on.
Yeah.
So this one is very dear to my heart, and it's going to be very hard for me not to swear, but, I'm going to, this is our freedom of the press section. So hold on, I'm gonna pull something else up because, Caroline. Leave it the fuck alone.
Love it and leave it.
Go sit in a corner and think about what you've done. We're gonna get to you in a minute, okay? You kicked the AP out of the press corps.
Well, they kicked them out of the Oval Office, right?
Oh no, they're completely bye-bye.
They can't. They're not even allowed in the press room.
I don't think so. They couldn't get on Air Force One today to go.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay. Also, this don't have anything to do with what we about to talk about, but it just popped up into my head. Mm-hmm. They took the T out of my gang over at the monument at Stonewall.
Oh yeah. They did that.
What? And the national parks, if you are not following the Alternative National Park Service, you're doing yourself a disservice, because when the shit really hits the fan, that is who's going to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, back on track. I just had to put that out there. So, like, that, it's little stuff like that. Why are you bothering that? Like, why do you need to take the T out of that? Why? Why? I don't understand. Okay, so AP getting kicked out of the. First, they got kicked out of the Oval. They couldn't go to the Oval anymore. Yep. Now I think they lost their press credentials. I'm trying to find the article that I was looking at breakfast. So this AP reporter and photographer barred from Air Force One over Gulf Mexico terminology dispute.
Right.
Why are we fighting over words? So I went on the Google Maps today to see what the Google Map said. Mm-hmm. It says Gulf of America. Mm-hmm. I read something that said Google says it says what it says based on where you live.
Right. So
the only place it says Gulf of America is in the United States.
Right.
So AP reporters and photographers travel with the president virtually everywhere, as part of the press pool, and have for decades.
Yeah.
So she just kicked it out because they don't want to say Gulf of America. Gulf of America. Okay, so here's a little history lesson, folks. The name Mexico originates from an indigenous city that bore the same name as the modern state of Mexico. This name has been carried for roughly 400 years. Travis, can you use the calculator on your phone and subtract 400 from 2025, please? And let me know when
1625.
So that's 1625. Okay. So when did the United States, when did we get the 13 colonies? When did that happen?
When were the 13 colonies?
Yeah, they're 17 something, right? So that's like a whole 100 and some odd years before. Why? What? You racist assholes. I don't understand. So,
13 colonies were founded in 1607.
Okay.
The first colony was established in 1607.
Yeah, and they died.
Jamestown.
It was Jamestown, and they died.
Yeah.
So still, so it had its name. I'm talking about the OG colonies that did the revolution that we came from. It was already named, and Jamestown didn't know nothing about the Gulf of Mexico.
No.
Okay.
Not.
All right. So now they're coming for the press.
Yes.
So it's going to be something just in our next person we're gonna talk about. She gonna get CNN kicked out of the press room. Yes. But Travis, I want you to talk about Caitlyn because you so eloquently spoke about her, and then I'm gonna back you up on because I'm gonna have to keep putting her out of the lunchroom because this.
Well, I just think Caitlyn Collins is really doing a hell of a job. The way that she keeps her composure, because all of the hate that Trump and Caroline Leavitt have for CNN, they direct right at her. And she holds strong all the time. And you got to remember, this woman is 32 years old. Practically a baby in terms of people that are covering the White House, the people that have that type of credential and have been a reporter for 20, 30 years or whatever. I mean, she's been on the job doing this for quite a while now, and I always get astounded by her composure and also the fact that she doesn't break. She stays stone-faced, really. And she asks the really hard, tough questions that people and the viewers of CNN particularly, want to know. She asks those hard questions, and she knows full well she's going to get some sideways ass answer. And she's probably going to, like, have to take a personal attack every single time. And they do lob personal attacks back at her with their answers every single time. And still, she just continues to do her job. And I think she's an absolute hero.
Yep, she is. At least I know she my hero. Every time I get scared about doing this, I think about Caitlyn.
Right.
And Caitlyn has to talk to that disgusting man and ask his disgusting press secretary's questions. And she has survived a whole other term with him.
I know.
What astonishes me is the audacity that beauty queen asshole fixes her mouth to even respond to the rest of the press corps. She's so condescending, and the disrespect and disdain that comes out of her mouth, and she has the nerve to say praise God up at that podium.
Oh my God.
I don't have any problems with people saying praise God, because guess what? Praise somebody, right? Like, blessings come from you. Just be thankful for your blessings. You can whatever you believe, right? Now, yes, it's not supposed to be in our government, but here we are. But she is evil. Like, it comes off of her every time. She's like, "Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon." I just want her to stop talking. And then, like, it's just almost like she's baiting her at this point.
She is.
Okay, so she asked the question about how Trump felt about I haven't, did I talk about turkey neck?
Not yet, no.
That's later. Okay, we're gonna talk about turkey neck and Trump later. But Caitlin Collins comes up in that because she asks KL, the most horrible press secretary in the history of the world, about how that was going, and she also asked Trump. But I need KL to hear me when I say you're not doing a good job.
No.
At all.
No.
And leave Caitlyn alone.
Right.
Caitlyn, you're doing a job because you always ask what I want to know. Like, why? Like, what for? Like, why did you send J.D. Vance to Germany? Like, why? Like, ugh. Okay.
Yeah. So,
we know this is a lot. You want to stay informed. Here's the thing. Find a multitude of ways. Your phone. I know everybody has a phone. So use Facebook to your advantage if you're still there. Every day I use each day of the week to do a different app. I'm usually on Facebook all the time, but I bop between the Instagrams and the TikToks so I don't get overloaded. And then I go see what they're doing on Twitter, just look. And I go on Threads. I'm not very good at the Blue Sky. And then I have my news. I do MSNBC and CNN. And I don't overload myself. I don't watch a lot of local news because I can't do it. And then I do my research for the show. So that also helps me be in the know. Mm-hmm. And then you find your people because you need to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I have Travis. Travis is one of my peoples. And I have our other friend Liz, who's one of my people. And then I have my broader community and the folks that I organize with. Yeah. And if you don't have that, you have to let us know. And then we will help you find those people.
Yep.
Travis, do you have anything to
add? I do watch local news. I watch local news every morning just to stay informed on, I like to stay informed on what's happening in the local community. So I like to check out the local news in the morning and especially, get in-depth on the weather because we live in a very volatile weather place in Wisconsin. So I'll watch that. And then I check, I don't so much go to social media for my news, but I do go to all of the major sites throughout the day to check the different stories and how they're reporting them. And then I try to format my opinion based upon, everything I've read and using my own brain to try to suss out the actual truth in where it is somewhere in between all of that nonsense. If 4 websites are reporting one thing and Fox News is reporting something else, which is often the case, then you gotta take the majority. I know a lot of people can say, "Wow, that's biased," but I mean, you're all alone, Fox News. Seriously, you're all alone by yourself.
It's not news.
Reporting just absolute nonsense that nobody else is. So I don't know.
I don't know what to tell them, but I know one thing.
That's a fight we're not going to win. So, I mean, I do still check that, though. I do still check Fox News just to see how they're reporting on all this stuff because there's millions and millions of people across the world that are getting that as their only news source. So I want to get into their heads and find out the people that I disagree with, why I disagree with them, because they're only getting this one source.
Yeah, like I don't really, there's no sussing it out. Like, I have a dirty story I could tell, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. But there was once a time that I may have had coitus with a dude while he was watching Fox News.
Say what?
And yeah, and I was just like, it was so weird. I was like, what? Like, what? Like, this is what you're gonna have on? And then, like, in the middle of it, I was just like, I am done. I don't even want to be here. And I just was like, I was so excited. I was so excited to be here. And then I got here, and you got on, like, right, womp, 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 womp. And then he was a missionary guy. I was like, nope. It's over. I was like, damn. I was like, nope, time to go. But I digress. So here's the thing. Travis and I just want to make sure that you're able to, we got to get out here and we're going to get to it. So, next thing is cabinet shenanigans. Rachel Maddow saw this last night. She's like, the rookies of the year. Who do you think the rookies of the year are, Travis?
The rookies of the year?
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
I don't know what she's referring to, but probably some of these cabinet people.
Yeah, they're in the cabinet.
So Pete Hegseth, probably.
Yes, that's one.
And which other one? I don't know.
He is not a cabinet member, but he's a rookie. The other one is not a cabinet member.
Oh, I don't know.
Come on, Boy Wonder.
Boy Wonder, who? JD Vance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she called them the rookies of the year, and I'm gonna tell you why she called them that. So Pete the Nazi.
Yeah.
He just says anything. I lost my telephone. So he went over to somewhere and said, it was like NATO, he said Ukraine is never going to join NATO and they have to bow down to Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a frat boy on a power trip.
On spring break.
Like on spring break and like on a power trip.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? Pete? Come on, Pete. Like, you got to stop talking. Like, you're the Secretary of Defense, my dude, and you need to Like this senior Republican was like, I am just puzzled and disturbed by his comments.
Right.
And
I
then,
mean, as the head of Department of Defense, you need to be saying things. You need to be not saying things that could incite global conflicts. You know, I mean, that's kind of part of your responsibility as being in charge of our defense, is being responsible about the words that come out your damn mouth.
out your, yeah, like what did you say? Like his mouth needs to be washed out with soap, because like you are the head of the security of the apparative pre world. Let me see if they'll let me read this article. Probably not. It's gonna say you need to you've reached your free articles this month.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're lame. But yeah, so he's just over there saying, bow down, bow down.
Yep.
I was saying to somebody the other day, like, who are they selling us to? Which one?
Yeah.
Which one is it? Is it China? Is it Russia? Or is it Iran? I don't know. I'm confused. Okay, so then JD was
J-Dub.
who had the meeting? J-Dog, J-Dizzity Doo-Doo. Did he meet with some literal Nazis? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, he went over to Europe at this conference that's happening.
He went to Germany.
Yeah, and he told them basically in a speech that Europe needs to be more receptive to far right parties.
So wait, Travis.
Yes.
He needs to be okay. Okay. Travis, you know I have no nonsense for this man who claimed that Trump was horrible and then now he ran. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I know a lot of these
Vance
people
and
that are
Musk
associated with him said nasty shit about Trump, and they said nasty stuff about Elon, but now that they're all in bed together, I mean, they're just in a big love fest.
Yeah, so NPR says German Chancellor slams Vance's call for Europe to be inclusive of far-right parties.
Yeah.
So let's just re-invite the Nazis to come back.
Yeah.
And let's just
I don't think Germany's going to go for that.
No, they're definitely. I can't
or
go for
Italy,
that. I can't
or
go for that.
Spain,
No.
or
No, there's just, oh my God, the Pope is into it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're just out here winning.
Yeah.
And then I have the latest round of idiots on parade.
Yeah.
Which is the last one is Elon. And I don't even know, I mean, between his son telling the president to shut the fuck up and you're not the president. If you haven't seen that video, you can just Google X and telling the president shut the fuck up. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So I have a graphic that I will share that is a Venn diagram, and Venn diagrams are my favorite. Like you can make people laugh with Venn diagrams. They can help you figure shit out, like where shit overlaps. And so this Venn diagram, it says what Elon doesn't want you to know. And it says agencies impacted by sudden Trump firings, agencies investing Musk companies, and then in the middle is all the agencies that are, and they're in the center where the Venn meets.
Yeah. And
it lists transportation, interior, justice, agriculture, the labor reductions board, EEOC. What is that other one? I can't see it. Oh, there we go. CFPB, Securities and Exchange, Defense, Federal Election Commission, and the Office of Government Ethics. So the FEC one is very important, people, because what did President Trump slip up and say in that speech he gave at the after his little after speech after his speech in the rotunda? Travis, what did he say?
Specifically, honestly, which
I'm talking about when he told on Elon what Elon did in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
when he said that he got votes for him, that he made the votes.
Yeah, he made
the
votes,
so I have always said, and I will say this, that he stole the election. Now, I said that before he even said the thing about Elon, fixing the votes. So I think that the FEC getting gutted is to try to stop that, because they're still trying to prove it. It's just been like a hush hush thing because they don't want Trump doing what Trump does.
Right.
So that's something that everybody needs to think about it, because 50 million people didn't vote. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. Like, no sense. That many people did not stay home. So everyone's laid off.
Fired.
By, did you take the deal? Didn't you take the deal? I have a friend that this personally affects. She took the deal. So her last day is like February 28th. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't, let me see if I could find, Travis, you want to talk a little bit about that so I can...
About the firings?
Yeah.
It's just insane. Especially, I know you had it written down to talk about this, but the nuclear personnel, the people that are in charge of our nuclear arsenal,
yes,
some of the most important people in that position were basically accidentally fired.
Yep.
And now there's an article, I think it was on NBC. Today, I think it was on NBC.com today that the White House now wants to rehire them, but can't figure out how to get in contact with them because all of the email accounts were suspended once they were fired. And so it just leads to a big mess. Like we're indiscriminately firing people and not actually looking at what their job is and what they really do. This is all very hasty and reckless.
I found the list. Okay, so the Justice Department definitely.
Yeah.
Oh God. Public health agencies like the NIH, the CDC.
Yeah.
5,020 employees from there.
Yeah.
From those agencies, and then like other ones are the Department of Interior, Energy, Veterans Affairs, Agriculture, HHS, and collectively they've seen 9,500 workers dismissed. And then it says additionally 75,000 employees have accepted buyouts.
Yeah.
And so like my friend is one of those. And thank you, Reuters, for the help with that. And then like yeah, like I don't really understand. And there are people who are fighting it. There's tons of lawsuits, and we could never name them all.
No.
So before we talk about what we can do about it, as Travis talked about the nuclear staff being fired, these are the people who control our nuclear weapons. So are they just sitting there by themselves? Like, what if they start leaking? Like, what? Like this? Like who? And then the other thing is Trumple D versus Turkey Neck. And I didn't know about this because Travis told me about this because he wanted me to see how Caitlyn handled Caitlyn handled our arch nemesis.
Trump. Yeah.
We gotta cut. Yeah, so Caitlyn asked Trump
in the Oval Office. She sat there in the Oval Office and directly asked the president what he thinks about Mitch McConnell voting against his the confirmations for, I believe he voted against RFK Jr.
Yes.
And was it Pam
Bondi? Yep.
Yeah, he voted against both of those and was the only Republican to do so. And then Trump just went on an absolute
tirade about how stupid he is.
Yeah.
He didn't know about him having polo. Just he's not smart, and you're what did he say about Caitlyn? That she
could have done his job and
yes.
better, and that's saying a lot.
And I'm like, you sexist bitch. Like, and I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm spoiling it all today.
Davette, if anybody had talked like that to me, to my face, like,
yeah,
her composure. I mean, I know she's in the Oval Office, and this is a very different situation. But personally, I'm just saying personally, like out on the streets, if I was talking to somebody and I asked them a legitimate question, and they came back at me like that, they probably would have got punched in the eye, and it would have been okay. It would have been okay, because you don't talk to people like that. You don't talk to people like that. All she did was ask the question that everybody was wondering. Aren't you mad about Mitch McConnell defying you? And she didn't even say it that way, but I mean, and then to personally attack her, like, for what? For asking the question?
Okay, so, Trump, I don't know what's going on. He's not having a good time. So I wanted to leave y'all before we talk about how we can fix this crap before we go. As of today, my birthday, the Trump NC has signed 65 executive orders. Okay, so 65 orders. And then what's that other number? There's 11 proclamations and 16 memos. And if you don't know any of these, you should probably be looking at them, because like initial recession of harmful executive orders and actions, like what? The restoring of freedom of speech and ending federal censorship. How do you restore freedom of speech? Where did it go?
Apparently, it's involves barring reporters from the press pool.
Thank you. The DEI one, unleashing
freedom
energy.
of speech, but not freedom of expression.
Right. We're leaving the WHO. I think everybody should go to the WHO website and join it. It doesn't cost anything. But I didn't even know it was like that many. And number 19 is a good one. That's the women. There's only women and men one. But let's see. Where is the one that I'm looking for specifically? I don't know. I don't know how they're enhancing support for veterans' health care, but they're firing people who work at the VA.
Yeah, somehow that's going to help veterans by having less people working for them. So.
Yeah, executive 14187, restricting health care for transgender youth. Yeah, that's going to go well.
Yeah, all of these policies and all of these executive orders, all they've done so far is take away and take away and take away, and for what purpose? Nothing has been added so far. No services have been added. No explanation that we're going to give funding to this group. We're going to give additional funding to veterans. That's why we're firing all these people. That money is going to go directly to veterans or something. There's been no explanation of what we're going to do with this excess of money that we're creating.
It's just like palms and circumstance. Like, it's just like, I'm going to puff my chest because I'm the biggest bad man.
Yes.
And like, no, like none of this is like implementing merit-based immigration reforms. What?
Merit-based immigration reforms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, here, if you're just the best.
If you're not rich and you're not the best of the best and you're not in the chosen class, then you can't come.
You can't come. So there's going to be no more diverse people coming in. It's just going to be white Anglo Nazis. Welcome to America. This is America. So what can we do about it? So there's a couple things. You could just keep not giving a shit. I personally, I can't do that. I think Travis can't do that. I think a lot of our friends can't do that. I cannot. So we do this, and I'm hoping that we can get more boots on the ground when it's warmer, because I can't sit around anymore. I really can't. I gotta go yell at some people. You can. So we have to get organized. What does that entail? It's a lot, but we all can do it. It just takes us getting one person and that person getting one person. It'll be fine. So, you can right now, you can call Washington. We will, I'm going to get a post together with numbers, and at this point, call whoever you want. You can call your person, but after you call your person, call somebody else's person. Because we just need to call all the people. Because everyone in Congress who doesn't want this should be doing something.
Yes.
And then build your community. Find people who have similar values as you, who care about the things that you care about, so you can do this together. I implore you, please, nobody, don't go anywhere alone. Unless you're going somewhere where you're going to meet other people, but do not be going to protests alone. Do not be going to actions alone. And I know you're going to where people are going, but
have a protest buddy.
Yeah, have a protest buddy. Like, please, don't be like my dumb ass and going to protest by yourself. Because I used to do that. And then stay informed, like I said. Mm-hmm. So I have a little rant. And I'm going to say, can we all just agree that there's an active coup happening in our country, and it is up to all of us to now fix it. And just because y'all didn't want that lady in office on my 47th birthday, I have come to announce that I have come to the realization that I'm just going to have to help y'all realize that we are the revolution, and to take what the ancestors have given me and help us take our country away from literal monsters. Mm-hmm. So Travis, let's talk about a revolution.
Talk about a revolution?
Talking about a revolution. Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you think we need to start for the revolution to start? Like, what do we need? What do we need to do?
Personally, in my opinion, the most important thing is that we need a leader. We need a group of leaders. We need people. We need people in communities. We need people nationally that are willing to step up and be leaders, and courageously be leaders, and speak out, not just on social media, but showing up in person and organizing and getting people together and getting people on both sides to talk. We need real leaders. It's great that we have these actions that we plan and things like that, but we need people up there giving speeches and really organizing everybody behind and getting them all behind the same mindset that this is what we're fighting. This is what we're fighting, and this is what we can do. And that's one thing that they've got us beat on. They've got their leaders. They've got their leaders and their leadership structure set up, and the opposition is very disorganized right now. Whether you want to call them the Democrats, people on the left, people that just don't want this to happen to their country, we're not organized under one banner. And I think it's really important right now that the opposition force have one banner that we can all get behind. And I don't think right now it's the Democratic Party. They're too disorganized right now, and they're kind of part of the problem. So we need to get behind some kind of banner, and I don't know what it is, but it needs to be created. It needs to be created so we have one concerted effort to fight against them. When we have all these different groups that are fighting for their own agenda, we need to fight for each other. We need to fight for each other, and we need to fight for transgender rights and women's rights and rights of the poor and the rights of the disabled and all of those things under one banner. I know only those I know only one issues, people vote on their one issues that affect them the most, but really we need to start caring about all the affected people around us and fight for everybody under this one banner, because that's what they're coming at us with. They're coming at us trying to divide us all, and they're doing a really good job of it. That's one of their most successful things that they've done, is to divide us all. And we need to centralize again under one banner. And so we need leaders to step up and come together and decide that we are going to be a force. We are going to be a force of one against these people. It's going to be love against hate. And we really need to organize under that. So that's just my piece.
Okay. So Travis here, he's got all of he's ready. He just wants to start a revolution, right, Travis? Yeah. So I have to teach, right? Like very, very, very conceptual things Travis is talking about. So revolutions need a vision, a strategy, and persistence. They take collective efforts, right? It can't be one person. Yes, one person can, incite change, but it takes multiple people in multiple places doing multiple things. So it's gonna, like you said, it's gonna take all of us, and we have to have one goal, and it is to remove the fascist regime, right? So, like I said, you got to develop a clear vision. What are we fighting for? And I think one of the problems with the party is that they don't have a clear vision.
No.
And they never will.
No.
Because they can't get out of their own way.
No.
And then the second thing to do is educate yourself. So we have to go back and look at what helped in the past. Mm-hmm. We know how the first go-round went with the Nazis, and we had the chance to stop this from happening, but nobody listened. So we gotta go back and look and see what other people did when this happened. And it might be a civil war, it might be this, it might be that, but now is the time for us to get together, and it might be we're gonna have to pick leaders. And but that comes with going and finding your people. Yeah. And that's my next thing. Build a network. It's not one alone. No revolution is run alone. Build community, whether online or in person. I finally downloaded what's that thing called? I need to do Discord, but what's the other one? Can't think of what it's called, but also, everybody should put Signal on their phone if you don't have it. It's encrypted texting. The military uses it. It's a good app. And I heard Apple had a new patch that everybody's supposed to get. Because Apple is, I guess, not with the shenanigans. And just start building community and then connect. My favorite new thing now is to look on World Talk because it's the only way we're gonna know about what the outside world is going on, and because they're going to start messing with our algorithms everywhere. So use media and storytelling. One of the really big reasons why Travis and I keep doing this is so we have things recorded, and we try to teach things so it's recorded, and then we have it somewhere. So if we ever need it or people ever need to learn about something that there's no internet to get to, it's recorded. So use your TikTok, use your Instagram, use your Facebook, use your MySpace if you still got it. Use your YouTube while we can use those things, and also use your video on your phone, because even if, say, internet goes away, you can still record on your phone. So learn how to tell your stories and how to get comfortable. This is not always comfortable for the both of us, but we sit here and we do it, and we're trying to get better. And then challenge the system. We need to be protesting and doing civil disobedience and boycotts and local things. All of these things have helped and have made things change. So we're going to have to start going back out there. Another thing that I want to suggest is someone is going to have to pick to get arrested. And maybe we won't get arrested anymore, because the police is just as mad.
Right.
Because he let the J6ers out. And then be inspirational. Inspire action. And then prepare for resistance, because it's going to happen. Stay adaptable and resilient. This is going to be difficult. It already is difficult. But a lot of us are already trained for this because we were outside. Like, I literally think growing up in the 80s and the 90s and as much freedom as we were able to have, prepared us for this. There are some scheduled protests, because we got to get up out of here because we got shit to do. But be safe. Like Travis said, protest buddy. I'm trying to make Travis my protest buddy, but he don't want to go. But we're going. We're gonna start going, and we're gonna volunteer our time. I will always I like to be in the car, so I use my car for blocking traffic. And Travis is gonna start doing that with me. And then Travis is a great stress reducer when you have to get out the car and slam your hand on someone's car because they thought they was going to cut across the Pride Parade, because that has happened. And then safety. What to put in your bag. Please do not go to a protest without a bag. Without a book bag or like a satchel. And you want to have water. IV hydration packs, liquid IV. It's the best thing because if it's hot, you want to have a protest hat. It's winter right now in a lot of places, and we're going to be having protests. So you want to make sure you have gloves, maybe extra gloves. Have a snack, some sort of snack. Memorize someone's phone number just in case you get arrested.
Yeah. Because
that type of thing. Or at least have it in your bag on a little piece of paper you can put in your mouth or shove. I don't know about prison because I've never been to jail, so I don't know. But
they don't do strip searches usually
really,
in the local county, but sometimes they do.
So, just in case you don't remember nobody's phone number. And then, what's the other thing? Milk. And milk is important. You're not going to drink it. It's for if you get pepper sprayed. And you probably, if you can handle carrying it, bring like a half gallon. because other people will need it, and it'll help get it out your eyes quick.
Yep.
And then just be safe, everybody. Like, seriously, extra chargers if you have like a portable charger so your phone doesn't die. And then just let people know where you are.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a bunch of national protests coming up on Monday, which is President's Day. It's a holiday. It's called Not My President protest. It's in all 50 states, territories at the state and territory capitals and city halls. Travis, we're going to protest on Monday because we can just go down to the city hall. And he's probably not going to like it because it's going to interrupt his day, but it's a holiday. Ain't nothing open. So Travis and I will be in my car at the down there with the mayor, who I can't stand. And we'll be there on Monday protesting, because all of this is connected, and somebody got to do something, because if they not down there protesting or talking to them folks, then we gonna be down there yelling at them. So Monday, and then there's a couple other ones coming up. February 28th, you're not supposed to buy nothing from 12 a.m. to nothing. It's not a march, but you're just not supposed to buy nothing. And the ones in March we'll talk about when they're coming up in March. And we'll put this somewhere too. I'll make a video. But that's all we have for our little birthday damage report. Please, 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 please take a time to kiss your loved ones, hug them, and then tell them, oh, Travis, and then tell them that we're going to go outside and we're going to fix this shit together.
That's right.
And I love you.
I love you too. Happy birthday, Davette.
Thank you. I mean, it's great. I'm 47.
Excellent.
Yeah, namaste.
Cool. Well, we're going to wrap it up for today. I would say this week, but we're doing multiple shows a week, so we're trying to stay on top of all this, and I encourage you to do so as well. Let us know in the comments. You can comment right on Spotify, and I believe you can do so on Apple Podcasts as well, or just go to social media, and we're on all the major platforms, so just look for Make It Make Sense Podcast on any of the platforms, and you'll find us there.
Yeah, we're awesome, and we will see you. Oh, you'll probably hear from us in a couple of days, because
definitely
we still got more Black history to tell you.
Yes.
And I guess next week we're gonna do an episode on something.
Yep, we'll be here.
It'll be awesome.
We'll be here.
Bye, everybody.
See you next time.
We're making sense of the senseless and overthrowing governments that are reckless. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.